Hey everyone, welcome to Meet the Characters, Gloom Falls on Baldur's Gate edition, and we are here with David. And David, you're bringing a character back for this stream, aren't you?
I am indeed, yes. Tis the return of Aldryn Wheelwright.
Oh, Aldryn, everyone's favourite dastardly Aldryn. But he's had a change of heart, hasn't he?
He has. He's still an anti-hero, but with more focus on the hero than the anti.
Less of the trying to convert party members than last time.
less hostile takeover, more sort of, introductory pamphlets.
Brilliant. Well, now, because Aldrin's a returning character, we already have a mini for Aldrin. So we could start with this as a base and then try and tweak from this slightly more edgelordy cleric of Mask into your newfound faith, which you can talk about if you want to, or you can leave to be revealed. It's up to you.
I think it might be an interesting revelation, but if I get too excited and it comes out later in this, that's also not that much of a problem.
Cool.
I mean, it depends what kind of holy symbols we're playing with. Let's see.
This is the Aldrin Wheelwright as we know and love him. Where would you like to start with the tweaking? What's changed?
I think we'll keep the base model. Even the pose might even change, but I quite like his expression.
Sure.
We do have the sort of the red and black things going on, but I think honestly, apart from probably the rapier, everything can change.
Splendid. Okay. Go on.
So I guess if we start by taking pretty much everything off.
Sure.
I don't want to strip him down to his pants, but that might be what happens.
Well, let's take off the helmet. Sorry, I'm just putting something random on to get rid of it. Let's take off. You've got a back pauldron, haven't you? You have. Let's take off the back pauldron. Let's take off the armor. Let's take off the gloves. I'll pop something on his bottom half so his modesty is retained.
Perfect. Done. Quickest meet the characters ever.
I'll take those off as well.
He's had a night on the town.
Now, are you keeping, because you still have your sort of most important thing about Aldrin, possibly the Sentinel Shield. It is the same shield. Do you want to keep the same design for the shield? Is it still the same item?
I was thinking, it might be time to, depending on, it might be time to sort of glitz and glamour this time around. Veteran of Adventures, and I'm gonna try and play a little bit with the certain qualities that the armor has to appear differently. I mean,
yes,
might be an alter ego.
You have glamored studded leather, don't you? So you can really play around with that. I'm just going to get rid of everything. While we're here, I'm going to get rid of the spell effect. The rapier you want to keep, though. Do you want to have it at the hip, or do you want to still keep it in hand?
I think possibly at the hip, where we might play with a little bit of posing.
In which case, I don't know if I can take the rapier as designed and plop it into a. I might have to rebuild it, so I'm going to leave it in the hand for now.
Sure, let's keep it there while we've got it there.
Let's keep it like this for now. We can always do all the rest of the from here, but this is a good starting point. So, right. I mean,
do you even cleric, bro?
Now, looking at the head, obviously we don't want to change the facial features and the things that make Aldrin, but you do have access to the ability to disguise yourself, and you are, even to a certain extent, working under pseudonyms. So do you want to change the beard? Do you want to change the hair, the colour?
I think let's have a look at changing the colour of the hair, and we'll go with that ever so edgy. I've just rubbed soot in my. Oh, that was quite a nice Australian surfer. Just it's all very disguised and things.
Okay.
Because not to give too much away, but many people may want me dead or may not. It's really hard to say.
Do you want to go more for that sort of a yellow?
Let's take it a little bit darker. We go to the one on the right below that one.
More of a brunette.
And then to the far right, to the sort of the onyxy.
Oh, all the way black?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, hang on.
That's all right.
Like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the because I mean, this is an homage to my brother now, who has sort of red and black hair.
I see. Okay. We can, of course, as you know, we can go into more detail with the colours, so we could add some red tones to it, or maybe even there may even be a decal that allows us to give it that kind of dyed streak. No, they can't go that detail. It doesn't allow that. It allows for an ombre, but that's not quite the same thing. Unless you wanted an ombre sort of look across it.
That's a bad dye job for Aldryn.
Hang on.
I'm hiding.
Try some various things here now that we're here. So if we do then we get the roots a slightly reddy black tinge.
That'd be quite nice, yeah.
Let's have a look. Yeah, like a burgundy there. How's that? Is that too...
Very nice.
Oh, okay.
Is it too what?
I wondered if it was a bit too much of a bad dye job, but actually, I don't know. It works. What do you think?
I think it's kind of cool.
Oh, okay, cool. We'll leave it for now. We can always change anything we want. I mean, we can go back and forth over this for hours if we need to.
Exactly. That might be the last thing we come to.
As part of your disguising, you can do magical disguising, so you could change your eye colour.
Yes, that'd be a thaumaturgy kind of business. What have we got at the moment? Green, isn't it?
Blue. Very
blue.
Solid blue eyes.
Let's go for the piercing green then.
Ooh, that's heterochroma. Don't want that. There we go.
Heterochromia sounds cool.
Everyone.
Everyone ever does, yeah. Yeah, it's just like everyone ever who has the chance to wear the swashbuckler's coat. That's the way to go.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got the slight disguising of self, which makes a lot of sense for Aldryn. Do you want to start looking at clothes on top of that and see how they all mix and match together?
Yeah, I think we'll take the beard off as well.
Oh, we're taking the beard off?
Yeah.
Completely? Not a fuller beard?
Maybe a fuller beard.
Let's take a look at beard.
But
handlebar moustache?
Because as I remember, he had quite a weak... That's very Musketeers.
Such a good disguise. No one knows who I am now.
I am not following the fantasy trope.
It could have grown out into a goatee.
That's not. That's very much you killed my father, prepared to die.
Not out of character.
That's true.
Timey bartender.
Oh, we go. We want bourbon straight up.
How about these? Like a full on.
So I think how much could realistically have been grown?
It's only been 6 months, so yeah.
Scroll down to the old beardy.
Which one?
I actually think the goatee looks.
I mean, it looks badass.
It looks right for him.
Yeah,
and it's exactly the sort of thing that he would have been like. Aha! Now I am vengeance personified because I have an evil mirror universe goatee.
Cute.
Yeah, that's not bad. I like that.
Sweet. Let's go with that. Do you want to change the hairstyle at all?
Let's have a look.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
I mean,
we've got some.
You know, are we going full?
I am the smallest barbarian in Rashomon. Maybe the old hipster man bun. Oh, that's like I've just discovered Simple Plan. And suddenly.
I mean, there's anything under the sun here if you want it. What vibe are you looking for?
I was sort of thinking, looking to sort of hide from the. Let's call them the authorities. Sure. Although not so much. So there's that intake. I quite like the long length, but if he's going for the full change, then a change of style wouldn't be. But it wouldn't have grown too much. So let's go down a little bit. I mean, that's the full disguise self.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's a quiff. There is. Look at that.
Oh, the old pompadour.
The pompadour, the Pat Sharp.
That would be quite in keeping with the alter ego, to be fair.
If you want it, nothing wrong with that. It's a nice old mullet. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a disguise.
Okay, do we still want to try and go in with... Hang on, let's have a look at the decals and see if we can put the ombre over the top. I think we can. Not quite in the same way. It's got ombre stylings at the edges there, but that doesn't really work in the same way, does it? Let's
go back to the original.
I think original?
In this case, yeah, because with the ombre that looked quite cool.
Okay, I think the original was that one. Nope. Yes, that was the original.
Yeah, that's nice.
Let me put the ombre back on it.
A little streak. So we might even go for a bit of dark red highlights sort of thing. But
hang on.
this is what I spend the longest on. Hair.
That makes sense. You should spend a long time on hair. We had a much darker sort of burgundy. There it was. Perfect. Lovely. Right. What are you thinking in terms of outfit then? How do you want to clothe yourself in your new nom de guerre?
Well, I think something that looks very, very affluent, very nobleman. Perhaps making him look more heroic and approachable, because it's not all a lie, I promise.
There's a lovely double-breasted jacket and tie there. Lovely swashbuckler's coat. I mean, I'll put some trousers on you in a minute. It looks a bit weird, but you could even be in sort of a double-breasted jacket sort of thing.
Very nice, very nice. That's a nice evening of intrigue.
Anything leaping out at you at the moment?
Welcome to the spy party.
Yeah.
Let's have I mean, that's quite a nice coat.
It is. It's a lovely coat.
Yeah. Anything around the sort of medium armor things. I mean, I can, technically speaking, make it look like full plate and so on, but that would just be. I'm not sure how.
Oh, that's a trench with nothing underneath it, which I don't know why anyone would. Sort of a classic policeman's jacket there.
That's very much a
double-breasted suit there as well. Into the armor sort of section, we've got.
Yeah, let's have a look at a few armors.
So we get into the armor section, we've got. And that's designed for first. Here we go. That's proper armor right there.
Yeah, that's rather nice.
Ignore the colouring, obviously. We can change.
Yeah. I think I know exactly what I'd like to do with the colouring.
Excellent.
The classic Byzantine purple and gold.
Ooh, lovely. So much for not drawing too much attention, but yeah.
Oh no, it's hiding in plain sight.
Of course, it's hiding in plain sight because you have a sort of special character that you portray, that Aldryn portrays, I should say.
The turquoise tulip.
Which of these is appealing to you the most? Because if we get on a bit further from here, we start getting into proper sort of metals and.
Yeah, I think the stealthy sort of leathery.
Okay, so there was this one.
That's rather nice.
That one, which, if you look at them, are very, very similar.
Yeah. I think that one.
Okay, cool.
I think because it also kind of has that cut of a suit.
Does a little.
So it's, it's the gentleman adventurer sort of comes through.
Well, let's have a quick look at trousers, because we could have something quite sort of posh.
Noble's breeches.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a bit warriors, isn't it?
Noble's pajamas.
Okay, here's this more sort of armor style, but these are more designed around plate and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Brigandines.
Proper pauldrony.
Yeah. That's half plate specifically.
Oh, that's interesting. It just looks very leathery, doesn't it?
Well, that's because it's currently leather coloration. We can change that.
Oh, I see. Of course, that makes sense. It reminds me of the thigh pads from my old American football days.
It's a bit like that, yeah. Otherwise, we're getting into segmented stuff and skirts.
Yeah,
really
I think more kind of trousery.
We've got more trousery. We can go.
Yeah.
There's things like scale mail and stuff like that, or we can go right back up to proper trousers. Like that one's got some padding on it.
I think that might be the way to go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Very very lordy.
Sure. Do you want a cloak to go with that?
Oh, almost certainly.
Well, let's have a look at cloaks. I think a cloak would probably suit this the best. That means we can put the shield somewhere else, which is not a bad thing. There's quite slimline, long capes that will do that sort of jettisoning, or something a bit more. That's got a fur collar, so it's a little bit more resplendent. You can even go down the route of a capelet, which I always like capelets. I think they're very pleasant. Looks very.
I think we've got to go full ermine, faux ermine, obviously.
With the fur.
Yeah.
Great, no problem.
That's very much. It's a nice mixture between House of Lords and House of Adventurers Guild.
That's because of the red. Like the red is currently very, very, so we need to work our way through that. Let's do shoes, because otherwise it's going to look a bit odd for the time being. So
some fine boots.
Got some boots.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we've got
sort of cavalry type boots if we can get them.
What are cavalry boots? I don't know what they are.
Almost. Well, they'd almost be sort of thigh length because you're using them for
riding
riding.
Boots. Like these
boots,
sort of things. There are some new ones based on wearing around jodhpurs. So there's boots with gaiters.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or we've got, let's see. Now we're getting into like cloth wrapped boots, which are quite detailed. We've got long boots that give up to. I mean, that might work. Or we've got more of the classic cuffed boot.
The adventurer's boot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rather nice though.
Those are the ones you had last time.
Yeah, they do suit this character quite well.
Oh,
I think it would be either those or the armored ones, but the armored ones might be a little bit too armory.
Too armory.
Yeah, maybe.
They look a bit armory to me.
Yeah, I think we'll keep them.
These ones.
Yeah, I think they go well.
Super.
These are now canonically Aldrin's lucky boots that have been kept pristine.
Masks obviously aren't quite right for this, but do you want anything on the head or covering the face? Because there is sort of a disguise element to this, isn't there?
That's true, yes. We had a little bit of a...
Do you want a hood or a hood covers the face, which would be a shame.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a cowlage thing going on last time. Oh, no, we had a helmet last time.
You had a full
that still showed
helmet,
a bit of the...
Yeah.
I think probably, unless there's some sort of diadem going on, or then... Of course there is.
That's a bit much, isn't it? It's a bit smaller.
Is it a bit much? Is it though?
There we go.
The old circlet, yes.
Circlet
Perfect.
headband, very well.
This is exactly the sort of thing an aristocrat from, let's say, the Small might have.
Hold that thought. Ivo, clicking the Lego together there. I'm sorry, darling, we're trying to do a recording, yeah? Thank you. Okay, so we've got... I mean, that's most of these. Do you want to have gloves with this look as well? I think this looks like a gloves outfit, doesn't it?
It looks like gloves would be appropriate, yeah.
I mean, we're looking at what? Like these sort of like covered gloves? Classic. This is very Sheriff of Nottingham now, isn't it?
I like it. I'm getting very strong Alan Rickman vibes.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to change all the colours on this, but yeah, that makes a big difference.
Get me Robin Hood.
Get me Robin Hood.
Yes, it's Sheriff of Nottingham crossed with Hans Gruber.
Well, if we take that as the look, if we've got the look sorted, and we want to keep the shield, we want to keep the sword, we're not quite sure what position they're currently in. I reckon the big thing we're missing here to get a sense of the new character of Aldryn is potentially the colour scheme. I think that'll help us dramatically in designing around where things go, how they are held, what we're doing with them. So, talk me through the colour scheme you want across this.
Yeah, we can play with the old shield design as well. Sure. I'm thinking, and it may be the worst decision ever, but I have this idea that in order to... Aldrin doesn't do things by half. So in order to embody the feeling behind someone, you'd be looking at Imperial Purple, which is quite a darker, rich
one of these,
purple.
or darker than that?
Maybe darker than that, even.
Okay.
And this is, random historical fact. When one was born into the royal family of the Byzantine Empire, one was born in the Purple Room. And if you were born in the Purple, as it was called, you had a stronger claim to the throne than somebody who was even old, who was an older sibling, say, who wasn't born in the Purple.
How's that sort of purples?
Yes, very nice.
All across the cape as well?
Yes.
There we go. That's a very different colour schema. And then you said you wanted some yellow in there as well, didn't you?
Yeah, a nice sort of antique goldy thing going on. Maybe even a metallic.
Okay, well, hang on. Let's make because if we make the fur quite a strong yellow, that cuts through, and then a slightly less aggressive yellow, more of a goldy, on some of the fabric detailing, because then that's too much. It's about finding the subtle points. That's what this is.
It's like a slightly warmer, almost orange glow, so it all kind of blends into each other.
Yeah. And let's put that across some of that. It's all a bit... There it is. Yeah, it's finding the sort of small paneling and small points to give it that colour. And then using a light yellowish... Yeah, we've got a yellowish leather to get that different coloration vibe across the leather patterning.
if the yellow doesn't work, we'll do it the same thing but with browns.
Yeah. And then for the metals, I think gold might be a bit aggressive, whereas a sort of, that's antique. That's designed to look antique.
Like a more bronzy or a more platinum.
Yeah, I was thinking more of a bronze. I've got to find one. Hang on. There is one. There it is. That's gold. There it is. Brass.
Yeah, that's
brass
right.
should have a very... Yes, thought so. I think brass is going to be our friend here because it's going to add that level of colour detailing without looking ridiculous. How's that?
The top brass. Yes. Very nice.
Ooh. Across the whole thing here as well. Yeah, what do we think?
Very nice.
It does look like a sort of lord, and that is kind of the look you're going for, is...
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think the gloves in the yellow would be too much, so I think we need to have more of a classic leather on the glove. Let's try.
Might even set off the centerpiece of the belt with a different color as well. A little flash of something.
It hasn't taken the brass anyway. Hang on, let me find that again. I'll go into the mixes here.
Nice.
There we go. That's clockwork gold. There it is.
I want to share so much about this character, but at the same time, I don't want to spoil.
A couple of small spoilers aren't a bad thing necessarily. Oh, and of course. Wow. So, in terms of this sort of, what color focus do you want to draw in at this point? What are you looking for?
I'm thinking something that almost goes against it. So, for the sort of the middle of the belt, maybe even a red.
Oh.
Maybe even a strong red.
Carmine.
Yeah. Yes.
That's great.
That
do you
matches
want the
the
boots?
hair.
Do you want the boots in the same? Actually, with the boots, what we should do with the boots is we should use the same coloration as the gloves. That's the wrong one. Where's the one we used on the gloves? Is the one we used on the gloves? Nope. What's the one we used on the gloves?
It's very sort of doe skin, isn't it?
Where was the one we used on the gloves? Too many colours. That's it. Yeah, let's cut that down into the boot.
Nice.
To get that sense of an outfit.
Oh, this is already looking quite salacious.
It looks great. It's fantastic. Missed a spot. Where was it? That double paneling doesn't work in the yellow, but it does in the purple. Cool. So there we go as a look and as this sort of character. I might put the yellow back underneath the cloak. Is that too much? It is, isn't it? It's too much.
It's a little bit. I think you might be right with a slightly different color though. Let's go with. You see the dark brown. Be sort of a lining thing. So you see this is either the brass for the lining or the dark brown that's in the boots, that kind of stained walnut.
Oh, that one. That I believe is one of these. Close enough. Is there a dark one? I'll find it in the mix. Is that it? Nope. Is that it? Nope. Is that it? Nope. What is it?
It's some sort of walnut, I bet you.
It's definitely. It's one of the things in here. It must be because that's how this works. But I don't know which one it thinks it is.
Yeah.
Nope.
Could be close enough. Oh, I got an idea.
Oh, of course we can colour pick it.
Yeah.
Sorry. That is that one. Okay. Put that underneath it. There we go. More brown.
Either that or it's going to be like an ice blue, but I think that's quite nice.
Yeah, great. Okay, so now we've got a better sense of... It is this sort of hiding in plain disguise as a foppish lord, so that is kind of the setup here, and it's definitely sort of like a lord's regalia, which works really, really well. But Aldryn is, of course, not a lord. It is all a ruse. How do we want to present that with the posing? Because we can move the weapon out of the hand, we can put the shield in hand if we want to, we can leave it on the back, there's all sorts of options. You said you wanted to look potentially at a different shield. Should we start there?
Yes, I remember quite a flashy look, spangly shield, and I'm like, when am I ever going to have the chance to use this again? It could be the time.
Stop me when you see it.
Well, there's one.
That one.
That's one, and the Royal Shield. There's also, I think, the Dragon Shield, but I think the Royal Shield probably makes more sense, especially held like that.
Oh, the posing. I'm going to put a generic pose on because otherwise it's going to be a mess.
I am the cleric of clipping with double shields.
I'll take the shield off the back for now, but we can always place it later. It doesn't matter where we put it. Huh?
I mean, you know, Aldrin's shield also being canonically on fire.
Oh, there it is. I see what's about. There we go. Off. Good.
I am Aldrin 10 shields.
Do you want a shield as flashy as that? Is that the shield of? I mean, it's a shield of. It's a what's it called? A Sentinel Shield. So we know what it is. Do you want it to be something as flashy as that, or do you want something a bit more discreet?
Well, the reason the design from the last time worked so well because we had this whole kind of Anglo-Saxon thing going.
Yeah.
So it's not bad necessarily, but I guess it is quite a flashy shield.
Yeah.
However, I can't disguise the shield, but I do have continual flame cast on it, so it is kind of that's rather lovely.
I mean, that is
speaking of flashy. Lord Foppington, your shield.
Oh my god. That's a bit much.
A little bit.
That's very pretty. I do like that.
That's very
That's great too. That's very World of Warcraft, isn't it?
Ooh, that is pretty much reminding me of my old paladin.
Yeah. It's very World of Warcraft, that one.
That is nice though.
Sparta.
I mean, my biggest thing on World of Warcraft was always the massive shoulders. I just couldn't get away from Pauldron, so I had a bit of a Pauldron thing going on.
I think this shield is very, very pretty. I like the design on it, and it looks sort of Holy Warrior, but it might not be fitting for what you're looking for. I could try and
Taj-y.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite. I mean, the circle in the middle almost looks like it could be a darkened eye.
Well, this is the thing. I'm wondering if I can tweak that with some design pieces to make it look like an eye.
I mean, if that's doable, it would be perfect.
Great. Let's try that. So I think that'll come through coloration, and I reckon there'll be a decal I can use. There will. Ah, yes, it's allowing splash effects. This is what I was looking for. That's across the whole thing. That's a bit much. There it is. I can now do an iris. That's what I was looking for. Yes, it's got all these different versions of that.
This is brilliant. Is this new? Because I don't think I've seen this before.
Yeah, it's new. They just added it in. I think that's going to look the most like an iris. So I can recreate that now by using... It won't let me put eye features on. I know I've tried that before, but what it will let me do is...
I'm now so tempted to give myself dragon eyes.
No.
It's loud. I can do it. I'll do it in the game. It's fine. You have dragon eyes for what reason? I don't know.
Felt like it today. Too much.
You mean I have to use spell slots to disguise myself?
That looks... I mean, it's not like an eye, but...
It's sort of like if you imagined that when I need to sort of see through it, that the eye kind of coalesces out of colours and then forms. So it looks like it could almost be midway through forming.
That's pretty cool. I like that. What do you think?
That's pretty cool.
Blue is the wrong colour.
It would either be the purple that we've got in the theme, or it would be the red from the belt.
That purple looks great. The red's also a good shout. What do you think? Red or purple?
The red looks very, very on the bloodshot side of things.
Whereas the purple looks a bit more like an eye.
Yeah. If we have a more kind of grey, sort of off to just check with the off-white on it and see how that looks.
I'm going to try and look for something a bit different here to try and really... There we go. How's that?
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, I thought bone might be the way to go with that. Yeah, that's great. Cool. Right. Well, if that's the shield, do you want to have the rapier in hand? I mean, looking at posing, because we can do a lot with posing, as you know, but there's all sorts of options for what we want to do here. We can raise shields, we can lower shields, we can put rapiers by your side, whatever you want, really. So if you give me a kind of indication of what direction you're looking in terms of a pose for Aldryn, then I can start doing all of the other bits.
I mean, it's probably going to be if we can find a kind of foppish pose, which would require. If we're going for in disguise, let's go for perfect. Let's go for in disguise. So that would be probably rapier to the hilt, to the belt. Yeah,
sure.
To the
In which case, let me take the rapier out of the hand and put it on the side, and I'll try and recreate it because that's easier. Okay.
No
so
problem.
On the side, we need the rapier.
Otherwise, he'd just be like, "Yes, I am brilliant." There's a question of where we go from there, because the holy symbol, I think, is incorporated into the shield.
Yes, we can build that. I mean, it's going to be very hard to build in like that design. Is the rapier too big?
I think it's difficult to make one smaller, to be honest.
You say that, but what we could do, and what I would suggest doing on her forge, is because the weapons are all quite big, is to use a smaller weapon to look like the rapier, because it tends to work better as a sheathed thing at the side. It's a bit chunky, that one. There will be there we go. That's a bit long. There were the actual scabbard sets as well, which look a lot smaller. We don't want that basket hilt, don't we? We look through the ridiculous level of sword that this game has.
Suddenly I want to just be like, I have 10 shields and 50 swords. Yeah. What's your carrying capacity? Not enough.
It's that basket hilt. That's the hard thing to recreate on any of these. I think that's also the problem. The basket hilt's taking up too much room. That's why it looks like it's so bulbous. That comes close, and that's too long.
If it, for reasons of, if it makes, because you've got a bit of clipping there and so on, the scimitar. I'm happy to be posing with the rapier, but I wondered if I wanted to try and get away from the dynamic stab.
There it is. That is a sheathed rapier.
Lovely.
It is obviously a lot shorter because, for ease, I can also align it so it's not quite as angled. That's easy enough too.
Yeah. It gets bigger when you pull it out of the scabbard because magic.
Yeah, sure. It's D&D. In which case, let's take it out of the hand. Although, no, I want to do the colour first because otherwise it will be a different one. It is the same rapier, and that is canonically true. So let us instead go back to colour, and I will transfer all the details across, and we will have ourselves...
Yes, of all the treasures I stole from the Church of Mask, this rapier was the most precious and valuable.
All the treasures I stole from the Church of Mask, this was the most human.
Yes, I'm definitely still following a god. This is very important.
Yes. Okay, it doesn't have quite the level of detail as that one does, but I've got as close as damn it as I can.
That's no problem.
So it's still... There it is. The same-ish rapier. So, that covers our bases on that front, and I'll take it out of the hand. This is a very interesting... Meet the characters, a very different vibe from what we normally do. Less of the, this is what I'm doing, and more of the, this is what I'm not doing. There we go. Okay. That's it.
Would you like to donate to the church? Donate church?
Well, you say that, but you know what you can put in the hands? I'm pretty sure they've got it.
I'm excited. A pipe.
Bag of money.
Oh yes, fresh from winnings at the high stakes poker table.
Just a pouch. Classic sack.
I think it's got to, unless there's dice, it's got to be the big bag of money.
I mean, that for me is a bit grotesque. That covers the same sort of base and says the same thing to me. I mean, how do you feel? It's up to you.
What is the holy symbol of Timora? I believe it's a coin.
A coin.
That does feel like a little bit much. It's like walking into the room being like, I think you'll find I'm on the list.
Well, hang on. What I can do as well, because we're now not using the stand bases anymore, because we're now going for the 3D minis, we can put stuff on the base, and I'm pretty sure that coins are an option.
Amazing.
Let's have a look. God, it's so hard to find things. I don't think that harshly. It just is. They've got so much stuff, which is great.
It's an embarrassment of riches. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. An embarrassment of riches.
Speaking of an embarrassment of riches, or it could be a single stack.
It's an embarrassment of riches.
What do you think? The single stack, or we can put? They've even got the bag of coins again. What do you like best?
Just show me the giant stack of gold, and I promised I wouldn't use that to be like, oh, but Chris, clearly my character has the money. Have you seen the mini?
If you like that, I'm very happy to keep that.
It just makes me laugh.
The thing is, because we've got so much going on now with characters like having different vibes and different styles, this really to me speaks of this sort of underground guildmaster, which is basically what we're making Aldryn into. So
absolutely,
yeah, that really vibes with me. I like that. Do you like the pose on this as well?
I do. Do you know what? I actually quite do.
I want to move the shield down. I think the shield is too out. I want it to be more of a by the side. So I'm going to play around with the. If you're okay with it, this is just,
I'm happy to floof around with some posing.
What I really want to do is I want the elbow to be down.
You may also put in a bit of a head tilt. You know that Han Solo meets Hans Gruber.
Like that. See what I mean? Like the shield's down a bit, and it's more in the offhand. It's still a bit out. I think it's still a bit too far. No.
Shoulder joint, maybe.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, it's in at the side. It's still there. It's still the shield. It's still doing what it needs to do, but it's not like out. It's just you're holding it kind of loose. Like, what do you mean I'm not invited, good sir? And you're just ready to pull it up if you need it. I think that's a lot more subtle, isn't it?
No, you're an underground lord of a shadowy organization. This money, donations to the church. What of it?
Okay. Then in which case, if we're happy with all of this, I would like to propose the following. That pouch should be a completely different colour. Yeah. To make it stand out, to make it something that really draws the eye. So something that doesn't have a colour palette anywhere else. No, these are all a bit too broad. We need the cloth. So I'm trying various things.
That's quite interesting. This is a pouch of fire.
It's a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah. Chris, you remember that pouch of alchemist fire that I have? It's on my mini.
So how about that? Because that's not too garish, and it is obviously a completely different color schema to everything else, and it really.
And of course, green is a number. Green is a color associated with money in certain parts of the world.
I think that green's too bright.
Nice dark.
It's turquoise. Oh, green. There we go.
That's the one.
Yeah, so it's really color offset as well, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this a lot. I like the styling. On the shield, we haven't done any of the colours on the shield apart from the eye, which down looks like an eye. There's a really nice take on the Sentinel Shield. What coloration do you want around the rest of it?
I think we try and make it match the rapier. Is probably the way to go.
No problem. That should be quite easy as well. I'm just going to try some stuff. Tell me if you hate it.
I think the darker brown for the middle bits, maybe.
I was thinking more on these because then they can offset, you see. Yeah.
The little circles in the arrows, if you know what I mean.
I'd have thought. Is that too much? Oh no, it's done the whole middle bit. What happened there?
Oh, that was quite nice.
Oh, it does all of them. It does all of them. They're all the same thing. No, we can't.
Just try the offset with the blue against the white.
You want the other way around?
I just wanted to see that because that looked really interesting when you moused over it.
Lost it now. Getting it. There we go.
That's kind of cool.
It is, and it looks magical as well.
Yeah, it looks like a shield of scrying in terms of like, oh magic eye, please show me the northern continent. Yeah. Here it is.
Here it is, my liege. Hang on, I'm going to change the inside handles on these because they are wrong. They are just wrong.
Just a wrong
coloration again.
This has come together rather nicely.
This looks fantastic. I'm very pleased with that.
Some said it was overkill on the coins, but what they don't know is that those are prop coins.
Well, we've done the coloration on everything else. Let's have a quick look at the coins, because the coins to me are too gold compared to the rest of the outfit.
Yeah, they're so gold they look fake. Like this is counterfeit gold.
Whereas that now looks like the gold on the rest of the outfit. It actually looks colorized correctly.
That's like when you ask for, I want the money in used coins, please. Can't be traced back with a flaming fist.
And the gems are way too garish, so I'm going to tone them down as well. We do not need garish gems in this. There we go. I don't want to draw the eye too much. That colour's already been used. Go away. Can't have it. There we go.
Lovely.
All right. What do we think?
I thought that's a tiramisu for a second, that gem colour.
No. That gem colour
the most precious of all the gems. This is rather lovely.
Taffyite. Huh. Sorry, David and I play in a home game where there's a character called Sweet Taffy. So oh, Sweet Taffy. What you gotten yourself into now? David, what do you think?
Gold.
Look at all of this. What do you think? What do you think?
I think that looks pretty awesome.
Now, there is one last thing I need to do, because with the way we're now doing bases, is I need to pick a colour accent from the whole thing and make the base outline that to draw the eye, because it helps when people are watching.
Lovely.
Is that right? No, the yellow's better. There we go.
Can I have a quick... I think I've got a bit of a head tilt going on already, but can I have a quick look at the...
More of a head tilt? I can do that.
I don't know. That might be perfect. I just want to have a quick look.
Okay, Aldryn.
In the eyes. The hair's good as well.
This will come out really well.
Yeah.
That's a twist. So that's, whereas the tilt can be more of a... No, down. You want what now? I beg your pardon. What do you think?
Oh. No, very nice.
You cannot be serious, Mr. Bond.
Only one sack of gold.
I think that looks amazing, mate. Look at that.
Really pleased. Really pleased.
Incredible. Anything else you want to tweak? Anything else?
Can I have a quick look at the diadem colours? I think they're right, but just that'd be the last thing to check.
The diadem. Oh, on top of the head.
Yeah. Let's call it a diadem.
Yes, it's currently the same brass as everywhere else, but it could be something a bit more striking. Do you have anything in mind?
Let's try. It's the same colour as the gold, right? Let's try the red from the middle.
Ways of course. Oh, it's two-toned.
Oh, it's two-toned.
It's two-toned.
Ooh.
That's blending with your hair.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't work.
I think like a platinum then, or a silver. Maybe even the metal of the...
Ooh.
And the middle part gold?
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah.
Well, the gold hair looks very nice.
No. Rein it in.
Yeah.
The silver offset.
Let's stick with that.
The silver offsets, doesn't it? It's much better. Oh, he looks splendid.
I'm so happy.
Marvellous stuff. Also, I'd like to note, it's one of my favourite things about making minis at the moment, is when I make minis for a card, look at it and go, oh, it's so gay. Oh, it's so gay. There's no way around it. That is the campest outfit. Oh.
I'm so pleased.
Fantastic stuff. Very, very good.
If to be fair, if the character's voice hadn't already been defined, I would be trying to do an Alan Rickman. So it's probably just as well, because I can't do an Alan Rickman.
Well, the funny thing is, I won't say too much about the campaign, but there's so many other characters in this campaign that are of a very similar ilk to Aldryn, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they all interrelate. Anyway, catch Aldryn to Aldryn.
Aldryn the Unmasked.
Aldryn the Unmasked, indeed, in Gloom Falls on Baldur's Gate, starting on, when is it? It's March. End of March. The last week of March. I'm just going to check my calendar while I'm here.
March ado about Aldryn.
March ado about Aldryn. Yes, 29th of March. On March 29th will be our first episode where you get to see Aldryn and some new characters and some returning characters all deal with an adventure in Baldur's Gate, and, well, Gloom Falls is in the title. I'll let you work out what's happening. But yes, join us there. David, thank you ever so much for making a mini with me on Hero Forge today.
Thank you.